Chapter 2: Visual Data Display in Excel 2019. Learning Outcomes. Microsoft Excel. Data Types in Excel. Introduction to Formula. Creating an Excel formula. Functions in Excel. Using average, max, and minimum functions. Charts in Excel. Creating a chart. This chapter delves into the art and science of utilizing a variety of approaches to successfully exhibit data using charts and graphs when presenting information graphically in Excel 2019. Learn to transform raw numbers into visually compelling representations. Enhance your ability to communicate insights and trends with clarity. Factbot. Charles Simonyi is called the father of Excel software. Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel 2019 is a powerful spreadsheet program that allows us to store, organize, and manipulate data. Data can be text, numbers, and formulas. The data is entered into cells which are organized into columns and rows. Many people use Excel to keep a budget, use charts and graphs to show data, track sales for a business, and much more. In our previous classes, we have learned how to create and format a worksheet. In this class, we will learn how to apply formula and function for carrying out calculations. Microsoft Office 2019 is the one having a wide collection of latest and developed features and skills. Factbot. Microsoft Excel 2019 is available to download with the desktop version of Microsoft 365 or Microsoft Office Home and Student 2019. Uses of Excel. Manipulating numbers. Microsoft Excel is best known for feeding and changing numeric data. We can use Excel to perform any kind of mathematical calculations like quickly tallying our marks in exams, calculating averages of our total marks, etc. Organize data. We can also use Microsoft Excel for organizing data. The row and column format of an Excel spreadsheet is perfect for entering many types of data we need to track. After entering the data, we can perform various sorting operations to control how the data is listed. Store data as workbook. In Excel, we can store data which we enter in it as a file called workbook. Excel 2016 workbook is stored using the .xlsx file extension. Within each workbook, we can store numerous individual worksheets to hold our data. Share data. Excel allows us to share our data with our other users. We can improve data from other sources and export data into other file formats. To share our data with others, we can also save our data as a PDF or HTML file. Factbot. The latest version of Excel is 2021, which includes a range of new features, including enhanced collaboration tools, new data analysis capabilities, improved data visualization tools, and performance improvements. Features of Excel. Edit and format data. Excel allows us to efficiently enter, edit, and format data in a worksheet. We can quickly enter a series of numbers, find and replace data, or check data for spelling errors. We can also make our data stand apart in a worksheet by adding borders or changing the font, color, style, or alignment of the data. Use formulas and functions. Formulas and functions allow us to perform calculations and analyze data in a worksheet. Common calculations include finding the sum, average, or total number of values in a list. As we work, Excel checks our formulas for problems and can help us correct common errors in our formulas. Print worksheets. We can produce a hard copy of a worksheet we have created. Before printing, we can see on our screen how the worksheet will look when printed. Excel also allows us to adjust the margins or change the size of printed data. Create charts and objects. Excel helps us to create colorful charts from worksheet data to visually display the data. We can also add objects such as auto shapes and smart art to enhance the appearance of our worksheet and illustrate important concepts. Data types in Excel. In Excel, there are 3 different types of data that you can enter in a spreadsheet. These are labels. A label is an important entry in Excel. The label is used to define the information on the spreadsheet, that is, heading of columns, titles, and names. It is any text besides phone numbers, formulas, etc. We do not do any mathematical calculations on labels. Labels are aligned on the left side of a cell. Values or numbers. Values are numeric data on which mathematical calculations are performed. This type of data includes characters 0 to 9 and special characters such as subtraction, addition, square bracket, slash, question mark, greater than sign, less than sign, percentage. The numbers and characters are always aligned on the right side of the cell. Formula. A formula is a mathematical expression used to do simple and complex calculation of the numeric data inserted in a cell or a range of cells. Introduction to formula. Constants and formulas are 2 ways of entering data in Excel. The values which are directly entered in the cells are called constant values. Numbers, names, data, currency, etc. are the examples of constant value. A formula is a sequence of values, cell references, names of functions or operators, etc. that produces a new value from existing values. In other words, formula is used to calculate numerical information and display the resulting value in a cell. Formula is also called expression. In Excel, formulas begin with an equal to sign. Excel immediately recognizes any subsequent data as a formula when it begins with an equal to sign. Factbot. Every cell in a worksheet has a unique address, also called cell reference. By default, cells are identified by a specific column letter and row number. When we use cell references and we change a number used in a formula, Excel will automatically redo the calculation for us. Operators are symbols which are used to indicate Excel the type of calculation to perform. A formula can contain 1 or more operators. Arithmetic operators. We use these operators to perform mathematical calculations. Comparison operators. We can use these operators to compare 2 values to return a value of true or false. Operator description. Addition A1 plus B1. Subtraction A1 minus B1. Multiplication A1 multiplied by B1. Division A1 divided by B1. Percent A1%. Exponentiation A1 exponent B1. Equal to A1 equal to B1. Greater than A1 greater than B1. Less than A1 less than B1. Greater than or equal to A1 greater than equal to B1. Less than or equal to A1 less than or equal to B1. Not equal to A1 not equal to B1. Reference operators. These operators combine 2 cell ranges to create a single joint reference. Operator, name, description. Colon. Range operator produces a range from 2 cell references. Example, C5, D5. Space. Intersection operator produces a range that is the intersection of 2 ranges. Example, D1, E5, B2, E6. Comma. Union operator combines multiple references into one reference. Example, sum B5, B10, D5, D10. Logical operators. These operators are used to compare two or more relational expressions. These operators also give a single value as result, true or false. Logical operator, not, and, or. Factbot. When a formula contains more than one operator, Excel performs the calculations in a specific order according to precedence. The order in which Excel performs operations in formula is called order of calculation. We can use parentheses to change the order in which Excel performs calculations. Excel performs the calculation inside the parentheses first. 1. Percent. 2. Exponentiation. 3. Multiplication and division. 4. Addition and subtraction. 5. Comparison operators. Creating an Excel formula. We can type a formula in any cell in a worksheet. A formula helps us to calculate and analyze the data in our worksheet. All formulas begin with an equal to sign in Excel. Follow the steps below to create a formula in a worksheet. Step 1. Click on the cell to enter a formula. Step 2. Type an equal to sign to begin the formula. Step 3. Type the formula and then press the enter key. The result of the calculation appears in the cell. To view the formula, simply click the cell. The formula bar displays the formula assigned to the active cell. Factbot. The AI Office Bot is a powerful tool driven by AI. It creates and provides explanations for formulas in Airtable, Google Sheets, and Excel. Editing a formula. We can edit the formula anytime in a worksheet. Follow the steps below to edit a formula in a worksheet. Step 1. Double-click on the cell containing the formula to change the formula appears in the cell. Excel outlines each cell containing formula with a different color. Step 2. Press the arrow key to move the flashing insertion point to remove or add characters. To add data where the insertion point flashes on the screen, type the data. To delete the data where insertion point flashes, use backspace or delete key. Step 3. After making changes to the formula, press the enter key. Factbot. If we want to use the same formula in our worksheet several times, we can save our time by copying the formula. Autofill feature in Excel quickly copies formulas across rows or columns in our worksheet. When we activate the autofill handle of a cell, Excel displays the autofill options Smart tag. We can click the tag to view additional options to apply to the data. For example, we can copy cell contents or formatting. We can choose to ignore the tag and continue working with our worksheet data. The Smart tag disappears when we move on to another task. Functions in Excel. A function is a built-in formula that we can use to perform a calculation on the data in our worksheet. It can perform a series of operations on a specified range of values. Excel offers many functions that we can use to perform mathematical calculations on our worksheet data. Average, count, max, and sum are the examples of commonly used functions. Is equal to average, A1 colon A4 is equal to 10 plus 20 plus 25 plus 45 divided by 4 is equal to 25. Is equal to count, A1 colon A4 is equal to 4. Is equal to max, A1 colon A4 is equal to 45. Is equal to sum, A1 colon A4 is equal to 10 plus 20 plus 25 plus 45 is equal to 100. Specify individual cells. When a comma separates cell references in a function, Excel uses each cell to perform the calculation. For example, is equal to sum A1, A2, A3 is the same as the formula is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3. Specify a group of cells. When a column separates cell references in a function, Excel uses the specified cells and all cells between them to perform a calculation. For example, is equal to sum A1 colon A3 is the same as the formula is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3. Arguments. Functions use arguments, which are the specific values used in a particular order to perform calculations. For example, A1 colon A3 are arguments. Structure of a function. Function in Excel always begins with equal to sign, followed by the function name, which is further followed by opening parentheses, then arguments separated by comma or colon, and their closing parentheses. Rule to create a function. Is equal to sum, parentheses, A1 colon A4, closing parentheses. Equal to sign, function name, opening parentheses, arguments, closing parentheses. Using average, max, and minimum functions. Suppose we want to calculate the average, highest, and lowest marks in all subjects scored by different students in a specific range. We can use the functions like average, maximum, and minimum. All functions begin with an equal to sign and include arguments in parentheses after the function name. Determining the average of total marks. The average function adds a range of cells and then divides by the number of cell entries, determining the mean value of all values in the range. Follow the steps below to use the average function. Step 1. Select the cell to find the average. Step 2. Type is equal to average, parentheses, G2 colon G7, parentheses closed, as an example. Or, click on the first cell, G2, the first endpoint of the range to average. Drag up to the last cell, G7, the second endpoint of the range to average. Step 3. Press the Enter key from the keyboard. The answer will be displayed in the cell G9. Factbot. One of the most famous bugs in Excel is that it considers 1900 as a leap year. Determining highest marks. The max function returns the highest value in a range. We can enter max function using the insert function box on the formula bar or formula tab. Follow the steps below to use max function. Step 1. Select the cell to enter the highest value. Step 2. Click on Insert Function button from the Formulas tab. Step 3. When the Insert Function dialog box displayed, click on Max Function in the Select a Function box. Step 4. Click OK button. The Function Arguments dialog box will be displayed. Step 5. Type the range of numbers in the number 1 box. Step 6. Click on OK button. The Function Arguments dialog box displays the range as entered in the number 1 box. The complete max function is displayed in the formula bar and the result will be displayed in the cell. Excel determines the highest value in the range. Formula bar shows the formula. Determining lowest marks. The minimum function returns the smallest value from a supplied set of numeric values. We can calculate the minimum function and store it in cell so as to determine the lowest marks in the specific range. We can enter the minimum function using AutoSum menu. Follow the steps below to use minimum function. Step 1. Select the cell to display the lowest number. Step 2. Click on the Formulas tab. Step 3. Click on the down arrow of AutoSum button. The AutoSum menu is displayed. Step 4. Click on Minimum button in the AutoSum menu. AutoSum immediately attempts to apply the function to the adjacent cells. If we want another range of cells instead of cells selected by AutoSum, click on the first cell and then drag through the last cell. The function in the formula bar and in the cell displays the new range. Step 5. Click on Enter button. Excel determines the lowest value in the range and displays it in the cell. Formula bar shows the formula. Charts in Excel. Charts are graphical representations of the data. Excel offers a wide selection of charts, which help us to display our data in a pictorial way. Charts display a lot of information in an easy-to-understand format, which help us make instant decisions based on the comparison of numbers. They also help us analyze and evaluate the worksheet conveniently. Charts are more informative, attractive, appealing, and impressive as compared to simple presentations. Components of chart. The main components of a chart are given below. X-axis. X-axis in Excel chart is the horizontal axis. We generally plot the categories of our data on X-axis. It is also known as category axis. Y-axis. Y-axis in Excel chart is the vertical axis. It generally shows the data range on Y-axis. It is also known as value axis. Chart area. The chart area includes all objects and elements in a chart. Plot area. It is the area where Excel plots the data, including axes and all markers that represent data points. Chart title. It is the main title of the chart, which generally represents the chart. Axis titles. There are two axis titles provided by charts. The first is X-axis title, which is for horizontal axis, and the second is Y-axis title, which is for vertical axis. Legend. It depicts the colors, patterns, and symbols assigned to a data series. Data labels. Data labels include data values, category name, series name, legend keys, and values from cells. Grid lines. The grid lines are the horizontal and vertical lines on the plot area which are inserted in a chart to enhance its readability. Types of charts in Excel. Excel provides a number of chart types that we can work with. The type of chart that we choose depends on the type of data we want to visualize. The following table shows some of the most commonly used charts. Line chart displays continuous data over time on an evenly scaled axis. Therefore, they are ideal for showing trends on data at equal intervals, such as months, quarters, or years. Column chart displays the categories along the horizontal category axis and values along the vertical value axis. To create a column chart, arrange the data in columns or rows on the worksheet. This chart displays the data in the form of vertical bars. This type of chart easily represents change over time because it is easy to compare column lengths. It is also called vertical bar chart. Bar chart illustrates comparisons among individual items. In a bar chart, the categories are organized along the vertical axis and the values are organized along the horizontal axis. To create a bar chart, arrange the data in columns or rows on the worksheet. Area chart displays the magnitude change over time. By showing the sum of the plotted values, an area chart also shows the relationship of parts of a whole. Pie charts show the size of items in one data series, proportional to the sum of the items. The data points in a pie chart are shown as a percentage of the whole pie. To create a pie chart, arrange the data in one column or row on the worksheet. Donut chart. Donut chart shows the relationship of parts to a whole. It is similar to a pie chart with the only difference that a donut chart can contain more than one data series, whereas a pie chart can contain only one data series. Scatter charts are typically used for showing and comparing numeric values like scientific, statistical, and engineering data. It is displayed with a scribble in line, whereas the line chart uses a connected line to display data. 3D surface chart shows the three-dimensional view of data. A topographic map is an example of this type of chart. Bubble charts are typically used to compare at least three sets of values or pairs of data. You can determine the values by the relative size of the bubbles. Factbot. Microsoft's plan to introduce artificial intelligence in Excel to elevate it to a greater height, thereby reducing human effort. AI tools can automate time-consuming tasks to improve your overall productivity. Creating a chart. Follow the steps below to create a chart. Step 1. Select the data which has to be used for the chart. Step 2. Click Insert tab and then click on the recommended charts in the Charts group. Step 3. On the Recommended Charts tab, scroll through the list of charts that Excel recommends for the data and click all the charts to see how the data will look. Not shown. Step 4. Click on the desired chart. Step 5. Click on OK button. The chart will appear on the worksheet. Factbot. Alt plus F1 is a keyboard shortcut to create default chart of selected range. Changing the style of chart. We can change the chart style to change the appearance of a chart. Follow the steps below to change the style of a chart. 1. Click on an empty area of the chart. Not shown. 2. Click on Design tab on the ribbon. Not shown. 3. Click on a new chart style from the Chart Styles group. Not shown. We can click on the down arrow of More button to view the full palette of styles. We can also click on Chart Style button to change the style of the chart. Excel applies new style to the existing chart. Factbot. Use the Chart Elements, Chart Styles, and Chart Filters buttons next to the upper right corner of the chart to add chart elements like axis titles or data labels. Customize the look of the chart or change the data that is shown in the chart. SumBot. Excel is a spreadsheet program that allows us to store, organize, and manipulate data. Formula is used to calculate numerical information and display the resulting value in a cell. Operators are symbols which are used to indicate Excel the type of calculation to perform. A formula can contain one or more operators. The order in which Excel performs operations in formulas is called order of calculation. We can use parentheses to change the order in which Excel performs calculations. Excel offers a wide selection of charts which help us to display our data in a pictorial way. There are two axis titles provided by charts, X-axis title and Y-axis title. Excel provides a number of chart types that we can work with, such as column, bar, line, area, pie, donut, scatter, 3D surface, bubble, and many more. Once a chart has been created, there are a multitude of formatting options that can be applied. TechBytes. Spreadsheet. A computer program used for accounting and recording data using rows and columns. Mathematical operator. A symbol or sign that represents an arithmetic operation in an Excel formula. Function. A predefined formula that can be used to perform calculation in a worksheet. Argument. The specific values used in a particular order to perform calculations. Chart. The representation of information in the form of a table, graph, or diagram. Plot area. Area of chart that graphically displays the data being charted. Grid lines. The vertical and horizontal lines placed within the plot area to help read values from the graph.